Alright, so in this video we're going to be cutting off this automatic transmission mount, putting this 5-speed mount on. I know that there is some cheap conversions for the hydraulic transmission that uses this mount, but we're using a cable transmission. The only company that makes a auto to manual hydro to cable conversion mount is Innovative, and that mount cost $120. That's not really in our budget for this car, so we're going to use the mount that came with our cable to hydro conversion kit, which we already have installed. So to use the 5-speed mount, we're going to change out the frame rail mount with a 5-speed one. We should be good after that. So to remove the mount, we're going to use these spot hole drill bits. A friend on Instagram, I got BTech, sent me a link for these because I was about to use the Harbor Freight kit, and I've heard of people going through countless bits just to get one mount done. I'll have a link in the description that he gave me. Thank you to him. He said I should be able to get through with one. I think he actually said he did a whole course report with just one, so we should be in the safe zone. So to make sure that I keep center when I remove this mount and weld on the new mount, I realized there is this center line on the original mount and it's on the new mount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pick and just scratch where the line ends above, and then I'll scratch where the line ends below. That way this mount will be centered when I weld it on. So I was able to get 7 on this side, 2 of the 4. Now when I pulled the mount off of the car at the junkyard, I just used a drill bit and I went in at an angle, but that leaves a hole in the frame rail. So if you want to do it that way, you're going to have to refill the holes that are in the frame rail with weld before you put on the new mount. But I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be using this air chisel. I know a lot of people may not have this tool. I wanted to offer another option. Okay, the mount is off. In total, it took me about 27 minutes to drill, and then 5 minutes with the air chisel to remove the mount. Now I'm just gonna take a flat wheel and smoothen everything out, throw some primer on. Now I've marked all the spots that I'm going to be welding the new mount on. Just some Sharpie. I placed the mount up on the rail. And just all the holes, the original holes, I put some Sharpie in there so I know where it's going to go. Alright, fully prepped. I'm about to start welding. Every hole is sanded on each side and through. Prep is everything, especially with these cheap Harbor Freight flux core welders. Frame rail is prepped. These are all the spots for the plug welds. If I do any stitch welding once the mount is welded in, I'll prep it then. As you can see, I've already painted the inside. That's just because it'll be more difficult once it's welded on. I'm trying to have as little overspray as possible. So I just, in the last clip you saw that I test fitted the engine, and it was a failure. This cheap conversion mount is not lined up at all. I had to slot all 3 of the holes just to get it bolted in. I looked at some reference pictures online and realized that the orientation of this bolt and this bolt is correct. So this mount is definitely wrong. I was looking at some innovative and Hasport mounts, and the bolt holes are correct. They would match up. Fortunately, my friend Nate had a hydro to cable conversion mount in his garage that he was able to sell me cheap, which was nice to offset the cost, because if we were to buy, per se, a innovative mount new, it almost wouldn't be worth it. The amount of money that we saved going cable would be offset by the price of the innovative mount. So fortunately, we were able to find the right mount used. We will not be using this mount. I just slotted these to get the engine in so I could continue working on it and get it running, and then we will swap this out as soon as the mount comes in the mail. He should be shipping it in a few days. Other than that, the welding of the post or the frame mount went fine. Everything's lined up with that just fine. Just need to pull the engine back out, do some stitch welding on the side, and then I'll finish painting, and then we'll put the engine back in. Well, here it is all finished up. I did do some stitch welds. I kind of regret it because they don't look very good. But it's done. It should hold. Thankfully, the AC lines will cover most of that up, and you won't even be able to see it.